when the New York Giants went out and hired Brian Daboll as their next head coach, I had some initial thoughts. I'm thinking, okay. And by the way, it seems like they're hiring everybody from the Bills, and I totally get it because they want to, like, the Bills are good, and, why not take, good people away from the Bills? Means less for a rebuild, and if you can make as much of their franchise into your own and be successful, why not? But when the Giants hired Brian Daboll, there was a couple things that came with it. Obviously, his success with Josh Allen was amazing. You love to see it. His success on offense on that side of the football was a lot of fun too as well. And I think the biggest thing I took away from this, and I think there were some people on the fence about this, some people that agree with it, whatever. But I think Brian Daboll is going to revive Daniel Jones' career. Now, I want to start by saying that I am not saying that Daniel Jones is the type of quarterback that Josh Allen is right now. Clearly, Josh Allen is the far superior quarterback. He has been the best choice, the better choice in terms of quarterback play thus far. But just by taking a look at what you see on tape and what, in terms of intangibles, in terms of talent, in terms of what's on the table, they're very similar quarterbacks. When we talk about the ability to run and escape pressure, Daniel Jones and Josh Allen both can run. They are dangerous when they get moving down the field and get looking down the field. Both have a very good arm. I would give Josh Allen the slight edge. I feel like he's got the best arm in the NFL. But Daniel Jones has a very underrated arm in my mind, and I think he's got a lot of the tools that, again, are similar to Josh Allen and that I think Brian Daboll can completely unlock. Now, just by taking a look at what a guy like Daniel Jones has done, in 3 years, not exactly anything to write home about, but a guy that's thrown over for nearly 8,400 yards, completed almost 63% of his passes with 45 touchdowns and 29 interceptions. I get it. And I think, I also realize that Daniel Jones is one of those players that you're left wanting more. And I understand that, but I think it would be very foolish to write this kid off now because he is a very talented football player. He's got the size 6'5", 221 that you want. He's got a lot of the intangibles you like as well. And I think, also another area that he is very underrated in is the rushing attack. Has 1,000 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns through his career so far. And I know a couple years ago he had the whole stumble thing after that 80-yard run was going to be a touchdown. But there is a lot of things to like. And I think the thing about it is, it's not even just all his intangibles, because we see that every day in the NFL. But if you get the right coaching, and I also have to kind of put in here as well, me and my wife are watching Friday Night Lights, and I think Eric Taylor, in that TV show is scripted to be one of the better quarterback whisperers, if you will. And it got me thinking, I'm like, and I know it's scripted, so don't get me wrong, I know this is real life, but it really got me thinking, when you get a quarterback that trusts his coaching staff, that trusts who he's talking to, and that trusts his coach, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. So if Daniel Jones can trust Brian Daboll with some of the things, because, again, it's one thing to have all the talent, it's another thing to completely unlock it. And I think if you are a guy like Daniel Jones, you have no choice at this point. Your option is to trust Brian Daboll. Like, this is what it comes down to. I think overall, could they look for another quarterback in the draft? Perhaps. But I think it would be foolish just to see at least what Brian Daboll. The worst thing that happens is, okay, it doesn't quite pan out. You cut him or you trade him, whatever, moving forward. But the best thing that could happen is your franchise quarterback that you drafted, 3 or 4 seasons ago, pans out. And I think that moving forward, the New York Giants need to be a little patient because, again, coaching makes all the difference. A perfect example with my Vikings is a couple years ago when the Vikings had pretty much the same defense that Leslie Frazier did from 2013 to 2014 when Mike Zimmer took over. And Mike Zimmer had turned the last defense, like the last scoring defense, and like one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and made it top, at least in the top 15. Like literally 1 year ago, 1 year apart from that, they were making plays. They were making offenses fear them in some cases. So I think that needs to be taken into consideration, is the fact that coaching makes all the difference, especially at the quarterback position. We've seen it at all walks in the NFL, and I feel like that really needs to be taken into consideration here for Giants fans and everyone that is also keeping an eye on the Giants moving forward. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support and love that we've gotten. We love every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much. Also in the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. If you guys would also give us a listen and sub on iTunes, we'd greatly appreciate it. And if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about Brian Daboll, who could possibly revive Daniel Jones' career.